Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Sorry, I'm gonna keep looking at the wrong camera because I had to switch cameras today. So if you see me looking like this all the time, it's because you're up here and my camera is not up there. But I'll try to fix it for you. It is what it is. I'll try to look in the right place. um, hopefully everybody's having a good day. It's We Share Wednesday. Anyone want to share anything on Wednesday? You're surviving. You're looking forward to spring break. You're looking forward to a nap. What are you looking forward to? No one's looking forward to anything?
I'm looking forward to spring break.
Yay! Are you doing anything over spring break?
Yeah, me and like two friends rented out a house, so we're gonna stay up there for a couple days.
Nice. Where at?
In Prescott, just outside.
Ooh, lovely. That's nice. All right. Good, good, good. We're still missing quite a few people, but that's okay. Maybe they're on their way. Are you starting to feel the pressure of the final coming? Okay. Not that I wanted you to, I was just saying, like, I have your questions ready and your review sheet ready. I just need to publish them. The only thing I don't have finalized is your appointment slots, okay? Which I'll try to get those finalized today. So those appointment slots are gonna start on Monday, March 8th, and they're gonna go through Thursday, March 11th. Okay, so really coming up quickly, right? Any questions about the final while we're sharing?
Oh, wait, not really about the final. So spring break is from the 15th through the 19th?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll
That's
start
perfect.
on 257, whatever that Monday is.
So yeah, I have a question about that. Do we have to, during spring break, do we have to register for that class?
You should be already registered.
I would double check because I remember I tried to do 256 and 257, like register at the same time, but it wouldn't let me. Because of the prerequisites for 257 was this class.
Yeah, same. I tried to do that too, but it didn't let me sign up.
Okay, so nobody reads my announcements. It's official. Because in my announcements for the last 2 weeks, I've said, if you're not registered for 257, you need to tell me now so we can get you registered for 257. Yes? So
Yes.
Nobody's reading that. It's official. So I'll put all important information in the announcements and see if you read them now. Maybe I'll put final exam hints in there and see if you read them. Maybe you'd read them then, right? Maybe we'll put secret extra credit words in there and see if somebody reads them then. Now I bet you'll all read them. So yes, you need to reach out to me if you're not registered for 257, or reach out to Julie Garner. Julie Garner handles all those registrations. She can do it for you. Sometimes one of the reasons that you're not able to register is because you are over the number of credits. So if you're over the number of credits, they won't let you take it. You have to get a special override from admin. I'm not in charge of that. Okay, so you need to get that figured out like immediately. You'll know if you do not pass 256. you'll know right away. You'll know before spring break. If I haven't been talking to you or sending you messages, which apparently some of you don't read, then you should be on track for passing this class, right? There's the people who are in danger of not passing the class I've been talking to, or I've been attempting to talk to. Okay. So if you're one of those who's concerned, make sure you reach out to me individually, like come see me for office hours, send me an email, something like that. But contact Julie Garner if you want to get registered for 257. She is the education advisor. Okay, and she can get you put in, she can override that prerequisite. Okay, and then I can always take you out of the class if you're not successful in 256. It's definitely better to get registered because, you know, financially you have to figure that out, and also credits wise, you know, because there are a couple, there have been people who they're over their number of credits. So you have to be careful with that. Any other questions or shares? No, now you're all scared to ask because I was just mean. Thanks, Alyssa.
You said that the time slots are going to be from March 8th to March 7th, correct? I mean, March 8th to March 11th, correct?
Yep. So Monday through Thursday of that week. And I'll have some at night. I'll have some in the early morning and a lot in the afternoon.
Are
Starting
you
at like,
are you going to be sending us a message to Canvas whenever you let us know that you have already
Yeah.
provided the time slots?
yeah, as soon as I get those time slots up, I'll send you a message right then. So you can sign up. Good question, Vanessa. Is there anyone who's not planning on taking 257? Not because they're not going to pass, but just they have it on the slate for next semester. Otherwise, I'm expecting everyone to be in this class for 257, right? Excellent. Okay, good. And we'll start. Evelyn, are you not taking it?
I
Or you are?
want to take it next semester because I'm taking so many credits this semester. I like feel
And
like I
that's-
can't even keep like caught up with this. And so I planned on just taking it next semester too. And especially since all that stuff, it says like it was unavailable. I was like, oh, I'll just do it for next semester. And so-
Yeah, that's totally fine. And just
Okay.
know that it'll be a late start again.
Yeah, okay, so
Right.
so it'll be kind of like it'll start like
So
in the
it'll
halfway
start
throughout the
in
semester.
October.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
it'll-
okay.
It'll start in like October.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's gonna be like kind of like this one. You
Yep.
know, like quick.
And yep, and you could choose to take it over the summer,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, I was gonna do that, but I don't have money. FastFood pays for my school, and so I don't have money, so I'd rather wait for the semester.
yeah,
where
yeah,
FastFood
I
pays
agree.
for it.
And so I don't offer it at MCC over the summer just because I don't want to teach over the summer. So that's why.
I don't
That's
blame
just
you.
that.
I'm not either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why one of the big reasons I am a teacher, right? So I can have a summer. Yeah, I live semester to semester. Okay, good. Anything else? Y'all good? Tyler.
I do have something to share. I think it was yesterday I applied for graduation from MCC for associates in elementary education. And it's something that over the last 10 years, I actually didn't think was going to happen. So that was a huge milestone in my life just because I took such a big break and here I am now. So yeah.
That's terrific. Yay, congrats.
Thank you so much.
Have
Yeah,
they said
yeah.
anything? Are we going to have a graduation?
No, there's no graduation, but I mean, the fact that I'm at least getting something, like I'm saving the big party for like once this whole COVID season's done. And then like once I graduate with my bachelor's, that's when I'll actually party.
Yeah, for sure. I just love graduation from MCC and I miss that we're not having it. I mean, I get it. I know why we're not having it, but I still miss it. It's one of my favorite events because it is a huge milestone. So yes, I agree. Celebrate when you're getting your bachelor's, but celebrate now. This is a big accomplishment. It really is. Nice. Who else needs to register? I mean, submit their grad app. Yeah, make
Due
sure.
Before March 1st.
I still need to do that.
Yeah, deadline March 1. Is that true?
I think so. So
Yeah, that's
on that.
Monday. That's Monday. Today's Wednesday, just FYI, in case you don't know how the calendar works, right?
So-
So don't miss your grad deadline.
Question, quick
That's all,
question.
yeah.
So do I have to send my graduation application back to Miss Julie Gardner for the advisor signature?
Tyler says yes. McKenna
Yes.
says yes. Hannah says
Yeah.
yes.
She
Okay,
gets it back to you really quickly too. Like I sent it to her on Friday, and then she sent me back it signed, and then with the checklist on Monday.
okay. So I
She's
should
the
probably
best.
send it now.
Yeah, you should send it today. You should send it today. Okay, good. Yeah. So make sure you do it. McKenna, question, I'm ready.
I just had a comment. So I just applied for my graduation too, and I heard that we're not having a ceremony, but they're doing like a drive-through graduation. So
Did
I'm
they
not really
say
sure.
when it is? Did they say when the drive-through is?
They didn't. I honestly said I'm not gonna do it, just because you have to pay for it, and I just thought it was weird to like pay to be in your car. I don't know. I'm just gonna
That
wait
seems
for my
really
bachelor's.
dumb. And I'm
Yeah.
going to bring that up. I have a meeting with the president of the college very soon. So
Mhm.
I have a tendency to just call it like I see it. I'm just saying. So I will be saying that that's a crock of poop. That just makes no sense. How does it
Right. I
cost
mean,
them money?
it's only
right?
$25, but I mean, that's just for like your cap and gown and stuff. I'm just thinking, why would you wear a cap and gown in your car? Like, I don't know. To me, that doesn't make sense. So,
Right. Well, and can you do the drive-through graduation without a cap and gown? Because I'm all about that too, right? Do that. That's fine.
right.
I got my cap and gown. So that's one of my favorite things about graduation is I get to wear my cap and gown every year. It's super fun. They usually don't have it in winter, but sometimes they do. They might because of COVID, right? So it depends. I think they'll probably have one as soon as they are able to. It used to be we only had it in May. So, and that was another reason I loved to teach 8th grade is because we did 8th grade graduation and we all wore our robes for that too. Yeah, I get a lot of use out of my grad robes. Yeah. And it's my master's robe. It's not my undergrad robe because I didn't walk for my undergrad. My mom was kind of mad, but I was already going for my master's, so I just ignored. And now it's so funny because I didn't walk, and now my son graduates in May, and he's like, I'm not going to walk because he's already going into a PhD program. And I was like, oh, yeah, you are. And he's like, you told me you didn't walk. And I was like, well, yeah, different rules now that I'm the mom. But I don't think they're going to have one either, which is depressing. All right, but good. Congrats. I love graduations. Yay, all of you. Karina, I'm ready.
So I have a question that you might know the answer to. So I have like one class left in the summer. Do I have to apply by March or do I apply to graduate in the summer? I don't know how that
I
works.
think you apply now. Hannah, is that true?
They have different deadlines for spring, summer, and fall, I believe.
I think the summer one is June.
Yeah, Bethel's
So
right.
for like me, I'm also graduating this summer. If I don't make it for March, I still have June to do the application.
Nice. And you can apply early when you only have one class left, right? So you can do that too. I know. Bethel, I love caps and gowns. I think I could collect them now. I think that's very fun. And apparently I am because my daughter graduates this year, so I have all my kids. I actually my husband was super mad at me. When my second boy was going to graduate, I was like, do I have to buy another cap and gown? Can't he just use the one that was just used 2 years ago? And my husband was furious. And I was like, I guess that's a no. So we have 2 and apparently a 3rd on its way, right? That I already ordered. So it's okay.
What we did for I think my sister's graduation, because I graduated homeschooled, so like we did like a ceremony, but like I still got a cap and gown. I still have the cap, but I think my mom has the gown because my sisters ended up using it. It's the same thing, so might as well save like 30-40 bucks on it.
Right. You can actually get them at Goodwill. There's a lot at Goodwill. They're usually in the Halloween costumes, just in case you're wondering. Not that I've looked. I'm just saying I like Goodwill. So my kids are big thrift store people. Okay, and sorry about my bad camera. I've already apologized, but it's still annoying me when I look at myself. Okay, let's do a little bit of a warm up. You can just do this on paper or whiteboard, wherever you want. And we're looking at fractions. So the fraction for today is 1/5, just for fun. Like if you were doing this in your classroom, you could do a daily fraction review and you could have them work alone and you could have them work in those. Have you ever seen like sheet protectors like this? And you can just slide it in, they can write on it, and then you slide it when they're done. So you don't have to waste paper all the time, right? So those are genius things. So try this. You're using 1/5 in each one of these boxes, right? So try that. I'll give you about 2 minutes. All right, I know you're probably not done filling in all the boxes, but when you do this with kids, you can fill in as many boxes as you can. You can make it a time limit too. If you're trying to just get this for daily fraction warm-up, you might notice that some kids really struggle with certain boxes. You can also eliminate boxes, right? If you notice that it takes too long for your classes to get done, or if you notice you really want to hit on a particular topic. Like maybe you don't need numerator denominator anymore, right? Because you've covered that. And maybe you really want to work on the comparison, right? Those three in the top right. But I wouldn't say remove everything. Always make sure you keep a visual, right, representation with the other questions, because it'll help them finish the idea. Does that make sense? So, and I started with a unit fraction. So a fraction with a numerator of 1. I could move to a different fraction, a harder fraction, where my numerator is not 1. And then I could move to an improper fraction as well, right? So I might have to adjust some things. You could have number line in the box and you could just not have it drawn. They would have to draw their own. But this is a starter activity, right? This is a beginning one where they've already learned fractions, but you want to kind of make sure they know what's happening. So we could fill all this out, but let's talk about which boxes you think would be the most challenging for students to fill in.
I think that, oh, sorry.
You can go.
I think maybe the percent and then the denominator and the bar illustration would be the hardest.
Yeah, so usually the kids do real well with like, okay, numerator, they're like 1, denominator 5, they're okay with that, right? And they're usually okay with this, 1/5, how they say it. You could make a copies of statement there if you wanted to, right? All of those things. The bar with an odd number, they have more trouble with, but once they practice it, they're getting better. Okay, I agree with you. The percent is one of the hardest ones for them. Did anyone fill in the percent one? And what was your strategy if you did the percent one? Tristan, what did you do?
I just did 100 divided by 5, which was 20. So it'd be 20%.
Anyone else use a different strategy for that? What'd you use, Madison?
I use the decimal strategy where I use 0.20 and then move the decimal over to the right twice.
Okay, but pause. How did you know it was 0.20?
Because I did 1 divided by 5 and got 0.20, and then I converted that into a percentage.
Nice. So you realize to do that one, you had to know a lot of math, right? To do that strategy, you had to know a lot of things. You had to know long division of decimals, right? Then you had to know the decimal conversion, decimal to percent. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's a great strategy. I'm just saying there's a lot of pre-skills that you need for that. How about you, Amanda? Did you do it this way or a different way?
I did it a different way.
What did you do?
I know decimals start with tenths, so I made 1/5 a tenth by multiplying numerator and denominator by 2. So we got 2 tenths, and 2 tenths as a decimal is 0.2.
And then you use the strategy to make it a percent, right? Excellent, nice. Now, did you see this connection right here? This is equivalent fractions that we haven't really talked about, even though they were in our slides. So I hope you're going through all the slides. You're multiplying by 1. Even though you're multiplying the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2, that is a value of 1 because a number over itself has the value of 1. Sometimes kids write things very poorly. They do this 1/5 times 2, and they write that that's 2 tenths. 1/5 times 2 is not 2 tenths. It's 2/5, by the way, in case you were checking in. So they might be saying they know that they have to do the same thing to the top and bottom, but they really need to be writing it. They can write it like this, I accept this, and you'll understand why I accept that later next week. Or they could be writing it like this to get that idea. This is much more mathematically precise, right? Because you're really multiplying by that value of 1. But that's super nice. this right here, when we see that 2/10, I think what Amanda was getting at is that sounds exactly like a decimal, right? 2/10 is a fraction that is read exactly like a decimal, right? So I can write 2/10 as a fraction, which means I can write it as a decimal. Very nice. Any of these that you thought were a good challenge or a different way, or you wouldn't have thought to put it on a daily fraction review?
I actually have a question about the word form.
I'm ready.
When writing 1/5, does there have to be a hyphen in between it? Or it can just be two separate words?
I'm trying to remember because I've written it both ways, and I'm not sure precision-wise, English-wise, how we're supposed to write it. Anyone have, Amanda, do you have experience with that? I will look it up because I always answer the wrong way.
I always thought when writing it out, it was like the same when you're writing out anything greater than like 20, like when you put 22, you'd put 20-2. So like kind of fell on the same rules, but that was my understanding from 20 years ago.
So yes, you are supposed to hyphenate it. Even though English people like to argue about it. Just
Thank
so
you.
you know. Yeah. Good question.
Could we also go over the reciprocal?
Yeah. So reciprocal, what does reciprocal mean? Anyone know? It's also known as the multiplicative inverse, right? So, you know, additive inverse, if we talk an additive inverse, +5 and -5 simplify to 0. So they're additive inverses. Multiplicative inverses are that multiply to 1. So if we take 1/5, what would we multiply 1/5 by to get an answer of 1? We would multiply it by 5/1. So that's the reciprocal. Did you guys like these? Which is bigger, 1/5 or 1/4? Yeah, anyone struggle with those symbols? We need to practice them. Which is bigger, 1/5 or 1/4?
1/4.
Yeah, 1/4 is what we talked about yesterday, right? The smaller the denominator, the larger the fraction if the numerators are the same, because the whole is cut into fewer pieces, so the pieces are bigger. I would much prefer to get 1/4 of a candy bar than 1/5 of a candy bar, by the way. Really, I'd take any of a candy bar, so that might not be a good comparison. Okay, so 1/5, and for some students who are struggling with these symbols, you'll want them to write it in words or say it in words to you. If they can say 1/5 is less than 1/4, then they put the symbol in there, because some of them can't remember which symbol is which. Yeah? I used to put this on the board and I would say, what is that symbol? And I did this in my teacher ed class, and I would literally have students go, well, it depends on which way it's facing. And I would say, okay, well, it's facing that way. So can you answer it now? And they couldn't. And so there's a gap here. There's something missing when we write these. And I know you've had some teachers who do this. Haven't you? Haven't you had teachers that do that, right? The crocodile or alligator eats the bigger number. I'm not sure it's effective. I'm not saying it's not effective, but what I'm saying is I keep having the same problem. So something's not working here. Anyone have an idea of how kids can remember it? Yeah. Hannah, I'm so happy you said that. You are not alone. That's why I'm going over it right now. Everybody, well, not everybody, but lots of people have troubles with these symbols. And so let's see if we can figure out a way that makes it make more sense.
I have a little strategy.
I'm ready, Madison.
Well, I was always taught, oh yeah, you said oh wait, is that, so you just said the alligator one, right? How it eats the bigger number. So I think of it as like, I don't know, a hungry person's mouth instead of like, because I got scared of the alligator method. So I think of it like a Pac-Man, like, you know, the Pac-Man little mouth. That's what I would think about it. And it would be eating it would want the bigger piece of food. And so,
Nice.
I mean, I would have it, you know, eating the greater number.
Okay. Anything else besides eating the bigger number? Is there a way we can remember this?
I don't know how useful this is, but this is how I do it. If you look at the distance, like the triangle creates, as you go down, it's a smaller distance. So it's going to be a smaller number, but that opening is really big. So it's going to be right next to the big number. And then the point is right next to the small number because it's a really small point.
Interesting. Interesting. I've had students tell me a million things. I haven't found anything that's stellar yet. I had one student tell me, doesn't that look like an L? More than this looks like an L. So L would be for less than. I don't know. I've had students tell me that. Here's what makes sense to me. And it kind of leads us to the number line. So if we want to put this on a number line, I'm going to draw 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to label them 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and that would be 5/5 if I want, and that's 0/5. And there's my number line right there. If I was drawing 1/4 and 1/5 on a number line, I'll draw another number line up here so we can split this into fourths. So 1/4 would be here. And you can tell that 1/4 is to the right of 1/5, which would mean it's greater than if these were exactly the same length and I had them lined up very nicely, right? So you can see that. But I want you to think about this. Let's say I have 1/5 on this number line right here. That one's 1/5, and this is 1/4. And I can see that 1/5 is less than. Do you see that this symbol is less than? That arrow at the end is a less than symbol, and this arrow up here is a greater than symbol. Yeah. So if I know that 1/5 is to the left of 1/4 on the number line, I'm going to use that symbol. That's that end, the direction where it is. So I'm going to use that less than symbol. 1/5 is less than 1/4. Yes? I don't know. Good, bad. It might be easier if you look at whole numbers. If you look at 0, 4, and 8. So if we were putting both of these on a number line, whichever one is further to the right, is bigger, right? So if I have my sentence written like this, which symbol do I put in here? I'm comparing 8 to 4. 8 is to the right. So I'm going to use this symbol. 8 is greater than 4. Some people follow along. Some people don't like it. I have never found a great one. Here's what I think is great for this activity is you have to keep practicing it with your students, right? And you have them write the words and the symbol. Because if they connect those two, they'll be more likely not to say them incorrectly. And you read all these sentences mathematically. 1/5 is less than 1/4. 1/5 is less than 1/2. 1/5 is greater than 1/8. I think that repetition helps. Okay. Circle, did anyone have a fun time making a fifth in a circle? That's why I hate that, because I can't do it. I do it wrong every time. Like it takes me 10 minutes to get it correct. How about the equation equal to 1? If I know that 1/5 plus something gives me 1, what would you put in that blank?
I'm in the middle of a fire alarm right now. I need to go.
Okay, bye, Evelyn. 4/5, right? And kids can do this even if even if you haven't started adding and subtracting yet. If you've discussed that a whole would be 5 copies of 5, and they know they have 1 copy of 5, they'll figure out that they need 4 more copies of 1/5. Sorry, I said 5. 4 more copies of 1/5. So if they have 1 copy of 1/5 and they want 5 copies of 1/5, they need 4 more copies of 1/5. How'd you do on this one? This is one of my faves right here. Doesn't have to be part of a whole, it could be part of a set, right? How did you know how many to circle?
So I just circled, since there are 10 triangles, I just assumed that, okay, there are going to be 2 holes because the denominator is only 5. So I just circled one triangle in the top, and then I circled another one in the bottom one.
Yeah, so that strategy works, right? Even though you know there's 10 total, you can say, oh, if I circle 1/5 of each part, I've circled 1/5 of the whole. Yeah. You could use this strategy over here, because I knew my denominator was 10, and I knew I had 1/5, and equivalent to 1/5 would be 2/10. But this is a nice one. If you could also go like this. I like Bethel's strategy. You could also split it up like this. Now, can you see the 5th? Yeah. So this right here must be 1/5. Tricky? Yeah, those are good ones. Okay, so that was a long warm up, but you can see as a teacher, you can do a lot of practice with fractions using the same document and just adjusting it with little things. But that repetition with kids will really help. Okay, you guys love fraction circles, don't you? You used to love them. You were like, yeah, let's get back to the pizzas. Every time you guys talk about pizzas, that's what you're talking about, fraction circles. I'm going to put in the chat the fraction circles, and I want you to do this with me, the first part, and then I'll send you to do it on your own in the second part. So okay. So if you pull up the fraction circles, I can't pull it up on different papers, so hopefully you guys can tell me what the questions are in just a second. I will pull up the fraction circles, and I'll see if I can pull it up on this other screen for me. So here's the questions. This looks normal to you, I'm guessing. Oh my gosh. So where one whole circle, one red is the whole circle, right? That looks normal to you. And then if I ask you a question of, I think my computer might explode soon, just so you know. It's getting a little hot. It's making a lot of noise. Okay, so if the red circle is the unit, a pink is what fraction? A half. Very nice. You can just say it out loud. Very nice. And a yellow is, might need to see them, a fourth. Very nice. And then purple. Oh no, yeah, a purple. You might not be able to tell. Can you tell yet?
1/10.
There you go, 1/10. Okay. And then black, which is the gray in this case. I don't know why they didn't want to make the pieces black, but they didn't. Oops, too many. How many you got there?
That's
1/12. Very nice. Okay. And then a teal one. You should be able to tell just from that. A 6.
1/6.
Excellent. So this is a game you know, right? You're like, oh, fractions, I understand. Welcome back to Earth. Remember our different, okay, now I'm going to mess with your head. Are you ready? Okay. So here's the next part that I'm going to do to you. Now, go away. Okay. The yellow is the whole. The yellow is the unit. Yes? The yellow is the unit. What is the blue? What is the blue? And maybe I can put them in the same space for you.
It's a half.
Yeah, the blue is a half. Does that bother you? Does that bother anyone? You're like, I was done as soon as you said the yellow was a whole. That was dumb, right? Yeah, that's painful for some people. Okay. Now, what if I say the yellow is the whole? What's a red? Why does it hate me? Okay. Oh, what's a red compared to the yellow?
A
4? 4? Yeah? Yeah, 4/1. Excellent. Good job. Okay. Now, if the orange is the whole, I don't know why it doesn't like to snap to here. If the orange is the whole, what are 2 gray pieces?
Half. The 2/4. Oh,
Yep, 2/4,
which would be the half.
Yep, 2/4, which is 1/2. Excellent. Very nice. Okay, now here's your challenge. I'm going to give you 3 questions. Here's the 3 questions. And you're going to draw them. So you can do it on a whiteboard. You can do it on whatever piece of paper you want. You're going to use the circle pieces, okay, which I already put in the chat, right? There's 3 questions. Do you see them in the chat? Okay, so start with they're separate. They're not connected. So the teal piece is 2/3 of some amount. Draw the unit, and you can just use the unit with the circle pieces if you want, okay? So I'm gonna open up your breakout room so you can work with your partner on this, okay? I'm gonna give you about, I don't know, 5 minutes to do it. Do as many of them as you can. If your brain hurts, that's a good thing, okay? But use the circle pieces. Okay, questions? You're answering these 3.
I have a question
Yes.
before I go to the room. Where, like, for the first one, how do we answer? Do we just say the color, or do we say the number, or?
You might know more once you do it.
Okay.
Because you might have to put pieces together, right?
Yeah. Okay, because I did it. Okay, whatever. I'll ask right now. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
By is like whacking out today, so I think I've rejoined like 3 times.
No worries. We're going to stay here for a little bit. So we'll be good. And I'm going to go over this because people were freaking out. I could tell. So they're going to be done in their breakout rooms in like 30 seconds.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, no worries. Hello, welcome back. Is anyone crying? Okay, everybody's crying. That's what I assumed. So I brought you back not to make you cry, but to talk you through this. Okay, so we'll talk through the first one. Let's start over. Where we started was the teal piece was 2/3 of something. Do you agree? Okay, that's where we started. The teal piece was 2/3 of something. Well, if I know it's 2/3 of something, I want to split it into 2 pieces so I could see what 1/3 is. Does that make sense to anyone? Okay, because it's 2 copies of 1/3, and to make a whole, I need 3 copies of 1/3. So I could just try pieces. The purple piece was a little too big, so I knew it was the gray piece was half of this teal piece. Yes? So if I know the teal piece is 2/3, bear with me. Then I know the gray piece is how big? 1/3.
1/3.
We all agree. If the teal piece is 2/3, the gray piece is 1/3. Yes? Okay, then that means how many thirds do I need for a whole?
3.
I need 3. So there's one more. And that right there is my unit. Yes, that's my unit. 3 gray pieces. Did anyone say 3 gray pieces is the unit? Anyone say 3 gray pieces? Did anyone say a yellow piece is the unit? Oh, look at that. Tristan, Amanda, Madison. Okay, everybody with me so far? Ask if you're not, because the next one doesn't get better, it gets worse, right? Okay, this is just like the game we were playing yesterday, which you didn't like it yesterday either, I remember. Okay, so the next one is the pink piece is 4/7 of something we don't know, right? So let's start with the pink piece. The pink piece is 4/7. Draw the unit. So in other words, I want you to draw 7/7. How would I do that? How many pieces do I need to break this pink guy into?
4, right?
Yep, Tristan and Madison say 4. Why?
Because it says that the pink piece represents 4 out of 7. So that means it's the pink piece that represents the 4.
Yeah, so I need this split into 4 pieces. So what pieces fit here? I don't know, maybe blues? Do blues fit here? Oh yeah, they do. So what size is one blue piece then?
1/7.
1/7. Yes? Everybody with me? Okay, if a blue piece is 1/7 and I have 4/7, how many more blue pieces do I need to make the whole? 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. That's the whole. I know some of you are crying right now because you're like, that is not a whole. That is not a full circle. Stop messing with me, right? Do you see what I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to break that idea that fractions always have to look perfect. It totally depends on what I define the unit to be. Yeah? If I say the unit is a green piece, then that's what the unit is, the green piece. By the way, are you doing your rational number homework? Did you get to the orange problem yet? Yeah, I think that's due tonight, isn't it? Yeah, it's due tonight. So is your first discussion board post. I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, that problem is going to kill me. Put up whatever you have, right? Don't leave it. Put up whatever you have. If you only have 5 of the digits, then put 5 of the digits up. Okay. So on this one, I'm trying to break that idea of the whole has to look perfect. It doesn't have to look perfect. It can look like whatever I want it to. Karina, question.
So, like, the unit is what it goes into the fraction, right? Can you like define unit again?
Unit is a whole, one whole. That's what a unit is. So remember yesterday when we changed the unit, first the unit was a hexagon, then it was 3 hexagons, then it was a green triangle, then it was a yellow hexagon and a red trapezoid, right? We kept changing it. Yeah. So the unit is the whole, one whole. Okay, the last one you can figure out on your own. I'm sure you can. Can you? You're like, no. What happened? Did she think we knew what was happening? What's the last one? Tell me what the last one is. Nobody even remembers. Should be in your chat.
The
My
pink
screen
piece is 4/3 of some amount.
The pink piece is 4/3 of some amount. Nice. There's your pink piece. So if it's 4/3, how many pieces do I need to break it into? 4. 4, right? Well, didn't I just do that? I just did that. So that's 4/3. What is the unit? The unit's only 3/3, right? Do you agree? So what do I need to do?
It's just 3 of the blues.
Yeah, it's just 3 of the blues. So that's my unit. Does any other piece fit it? No, I don't think so. Probably a combination of pieces would fit it. But so this is my unit. That's my whole. Yeah, do you like it? Looks nice. You're like, no, I hate it. I hate everything about this.
So I have a question. What's the difference between like, because I would think that would be like 3/4. So why is that not 3/4 instead of 4/3?
What did I say was the whole? This is the whole, because this piece right here, I defined as 4/3. I told you that. That the pink piece is 4/3. Right? So you had to split it into 4 copies of 1/3. And then you have to take away one of those thirds, so you only have 3 copies of 1/3. Are you doing okay? Okay, I'm going to be real nice to you right now. If you want to struggle with this on your own, you totally can. Alyssa's like, I got nothing. You're not alone. I'm going to share something with you. Try this on your own, okay? Try this on your own. And then if you're really struggling, I wrote a key for you that's all nicely explained, okay? So when you're ready, look at the key. Okay, not right now. I mean, it might take you a couple days. Yeah. Okay, let's go back here. Pattern blocks, addition and subtraction. If you thought the circles were bad, you haven't visited pattern blocks yet, okay? Pattern blocks are what we did yesterday, right? The hexagon, the trapezoid, so on and so on. You have a handout on this. This, I think, is much more doable than what we just did. And I'll tell you why. We'll just get it started today. Remember how tomorrow is our, oh my gosh, we're not going to get through things day. So that's what we're going to do. To do this pattern block activity, you need to understand what the pattern blocks represent. And that's what we're going to go over at the very, very start right now. So we're going to use this key that's on the next slide. But what I'm going to tell you is I don't want you to pretend or to use an algorithm you already know. I want you to I want you to just play along like you don't know how to add fractions. Okay, some of you are like, I don't even think I do know how to add fractions anymore, right? After what she just did to us, I don't think I know any math anymore. So it's okay, you do know math. Okay, so first we're gonna define our unit. We just found out how important that was. So if 2 hexagon, so called the double hex, this is equal to 1 whole, okay? Then what is 1 yellow hexagon equal to? What fraction is it? Thanks, Hannah, 1/2. And then how about a red trapezoid? 1/4, nice. And a blue rhombus? You might be stuck here. Let's look. If I draw oh, I better not use that color. If I draw in here, this to be blue rhombuses, do you see? This would be a blue rhombus, this would be a blue rhombus, this would be a blue rhombus, and then I can do it again here.
1/6.
So a blue rhombus is 1/6. Do you see that now? And you could build them with your pattern blocks. So a blue rhombus is 1/6. What's a green triangle then?
1/12.
12.
Yeah, 1/12. Because we would split each one of these into triangles, right? So there's 12 total triangles. So this is your key. This is what you need to write at the top of your worksheet, okay? This is what you need to write at the top of your worksheet. So, and I'll write it on my worksheet right now. So right here, I'm going to write double hex is 1. A hexagon is 1/2. A trapezoid is 1/4. Rhombus is 1/6. And a triangle is 1/12. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Like that's your given. So for the beginning of this activity, all I want you to do is fill in part A of each one of these. Okay, I don't want you to do part B. We're going to pretend we don't know anything about fractions. Like we know very little. All we know is how to play with blocks. That's all we know how to do is play with these pattern blocks. Okay. Do you have your copy of your worksheet? So you can, okay. So, because I'm going to go to the pattern block. So what we're going to do is on our, read the directions on that worksheet while I pull up my pattern blocks. Here's the pattern blocks, by the way, in the chat for you if you need them. I needed them. Okay, So, and I'll pull up that worksheet again so I make sure I know what I'm talking about. It says, using the information from that last thing that we just looked at, make any physical trades necessary to represent the answer with a single color. Okay, so in other words, we're starting with a yellow hexagon and a red trapezoid. I want to put these together, but to do that, I want them to be the same color. Now, I can choose to make them any color I want as long as I'm following equal trades. Okay, so my yellow hexagon, I can't make a yellow hexagon a red trapezoid. It doesn't work, right? It's too big. But I could make, wait, I said that backwards. I can trade, do you agree that I can trade a yellow hexagon for 2 red trapezoids? Do you agree with that trade? That's legal. Everybody agree with me? Okay, so now I have a single color. Yes? Now I have a single color. So what I want you to write on your worksheet is this. We had a yellow hexagon. We traded it for 2 red trapezoids, and we had 1 red trapezoid already. So now I can easily put them together. What do I have all together? 3 red. That's all I want you to do. Nothing else. No numbers. Okay, besides no fractions. So now I want you to do number 2. So if we go back to our pattern block, I'm going to say, okay, this time I'm going to do a yellow plus a blue. Tell me what trades you want to make them all the same color. I don't care. Let me know what you got.
2 blues.
So do 2 blues fit on a
wait.
yellow?
I'm using the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Triangles.
Oh, you want triangle. Okay.
Try those.
How many triangles do you want?
So there's going to be 6, and then plus 2 more, 7, 8 for the blue.
Okay, so you want 6 green triangles here, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I can't turn them because I'm incompetent. I want it to just snap in there. There we go. A little better. Okay, and then 2 green triangles here. Is that legal? Do you think that's okay? Is there anyone else that wanted to do something different? Tyler, what did you want to do?
I traded out the yellow hexagon for 3 blue.
Yeah. Okay, so you did 3 blues instead of that. And so you had 3 blues. Yeah, this is so much easier when I can just actually use blocks. So 3 blues and 1 blue, right?
Yep.
Anyone want to do anything else? Just checking in. Okay, so now let's go back to our paper and write down what we did. You could write, if you were, I think it was Alyssa who was telling me in the beginning, 6 green, and then we had 2 green, so you would have 8 green, right? If you were Tyler or Hannah, you might write 3 blue and 1 blue, and you get 4 blues. I don't care, right? Whichever one you want, as long as you're making legal trades. Everybody okay so far? Who's super confused or needs help? Okay, now let's look at one more before we stop for today. And it's okay if we're not done. I promise you, it's okay. You'll survive. So 1 blue plus 1 red. So if I go back here and I say, okay, start over, I have a blue and a red. What am I going to trade this time?
You can do 5 greens.
Okay, I can trade this blue for 2 greens. And I can trade this red for 3 greens, right? Everybody agree? That time I didn't really have a choice, right? I couldn't make the blue a red or the red a blue, so I kind of had to go to the green. Okay, so now we're going to say we traded it. Now we have 2 greens and 3 greens, so we have 5 greens. Yes? Okay, so notice that's all I want you to do on part A's. Don't do anything else. I know the next one is subtraction. Don't do anything else. Okay, don't go any further because it's really important that we remember what's happening. So we'll start right here tomorrow with our adding and subtracting. Okay, that's where we'll start tomorrow. I'm going to look at your exit ticket and see if it makes any sense. Oh, yeah, it does. I mean, we'll see if you can do it. If you get it wrong, don't be crying. It's all right. Okay. It's talking about circle pieces and pattern blocks. So here's your exit ticket. Now, if you're feeling super overwhelmed, like you're not quite sure what's happening anymore because today and yesterday just threw you for a loop, there's good news. We still have tomorrow. It's always a new day. The other good news is I have a lot of slides up. The other good news is I have office hours at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Yes? Come and chat. We'll play with circle pieces and pattern blocks. Okay? So don't forget to do your rational number homework and your digit problem. I think maybe the fraction rules worksheet is due as well, right? So don't forget about those. Make sure you get those done. All right, don't forget about your partner pair project, but I'm going to stop because I think you guys need to digest a little bit. If you want to do the exit ticket right now, you have time. We have about 6 minutes before class is over. You can do part A on any of the addition ones, but don't do the subtraction ones yet, and don't do the part B yet. Okay, so I'm just going to stay here and be quiet and answer questions when you're ready.
Okay, I have a question about the exit ticket. I don't know
Okay,
if
I'm pulling it up right now. Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm misreading it or not. Because I answered it and then I always like to double check to see if I was anywhere near what I was supposed to be. And it said I got it wrong on the first question where it says refer to the fraction circle pieces. if the
Yeah.
yellow is the unit, what is one red piece? Is
Yeah.
that in regards to what is one red piece with yellow being the unit?
Correct.
So then. I'm
Did I
confused.
write my answer backwards? Let me see. Let me look. Refer to
I
the
don't
fraction.
think so, but I did write 4/1 and then you didn't want us to have that denominator apparently.
Oh, so it marked you wrong, even though, yeah. So yeah, it should be 4, right?
Okay, so it was just simplified then. Or
Is
not.
there a reason that you didn't want that denominator? Because usually we refer to, I mean, I just now I'm
No,
confused.
I just didn't put it in as the answer
Okay.
choice.
But
So,
it would
and
still
Tyler, you
be
put,
correct.
yes, it is correct. Tyler,
Okay.
you put 1/2
One
before.
half. Yeah, so the way I was looking at it was like the whole yellow piece was one whole, and then the one red piece being the trapezoid was 1/2 of that one whole. That's what that.
Oh,
red
we were
represents.
on
The
circle
circles.
pieces. I think you misread it. It was circle
Oh,
pieces,
I was-
not pattern blocks.
I'm looking at the wrong manipulative. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, that's what did it. That's what did, and I bet you're not alone. Lots of people are going back and amending their answers now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
because I think I confused switching between manipulative. So it was circle pieces,
loaded on
not
the
pattern blocks.
Or the pattern blocks. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yes, no worries. And Hannah, yes, I could have put 4/1 as an acceptable answer.
So for the exit ticket, I did 4/1, but it told me
Yeah,
the correct answer was 4.
Yeah, it just marked you wrong because I didn't put in 4/1 as an option.
No.
If you did it again, it would regrade you, but so you got it right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just added it
all.
as a choice now.
And what time tonight is your office hours again? 7:30?
7:30 to 8:30. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Kelsey, what's up?
I'm a little confused on like fraction rules.
Okay.
Is there something to like help me?